One thing I can say since I've been back home looking at Essence Fest, it's so empty. Like, it's early in the morning, but it's real empty. I've seen what it had a ton of people outside at 9 o'clock in the morning. Even the vendors, like the food vendors on portraits, there are barely none. It might change when they get a little later throughout the day, but it's looking rough. It don't look like it's Essence no more. I don't know if that's a word, but Essence not festing no more. Like, I don't know what's going on. Usually, I'm hella booked up, for one, for Essence. Two, so many people who normally go, they're like, I don't think I'm going this year. And I've heard why, which is kind of messed up. Like, how y'all gonna make people pay for other parts of the Essence Fest that was free? Like, once you pay that general admission, you can't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being greedy. And now y'all being greedy, and look what happened. It's kind of dead out here. They didn't even have no traffic. That's the crazy part. Yesterday, they didn't have no traffic on the interstate. It's like, oh, okay.
So I'm at Essence right now. It's 7:42. Started at 7. They announced the first performers, which were supposed to be Siren, a couple minutes ago. They just cut their music. They never came out. If you look around, it is so empty. And I understand people are going to be late, but where is everybody? What's going on? Where are the performers? Where are the performers?
I'm sitting here with you. I don't know.
It's interesting. Our first Essence has been interesting.
I think it's because it's 4th of July Friday.
Maybe, I don't... Okay. I'm just seeing a lot of trends this Essence with some miscommunications, stuff getting canceled or moved around
All those people
last minute. I don't know. But where are the performers?
Shalom. I would like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakradash. I would like to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Akim, pushing his word across the four corners of the world. And as you just saw from those two opening videos regarding the 31st Annual Essence Festival of Culture, and this particular festival is an annual celebration of so-called African American culture, music, and empowerment that's held in New Orleans over the 4th of July weekend. So this past weekend, which was the 4th of July weekend, that's where they celebrated the 31st Annual Essence Festival. And where normally, especially back in the day, it would draw in thousands of people, very large crowds. And they be attending these wide array of cultural events, seminars, and also the concerts, and also different festivities outside these different events. But regarding this year, this Essence Festival 2025, they were very low in attendance. Now, granted, I did read some of the comments from the different locals of New Orleans regarding this festival, like in regards of the festival organizers, the event coordinators, and the different vendors wasn't all seeing eye to eye. And that affected the huge crowds drawing in like they normally did over the past years. But all in all, we do know what's currently going on with an overwhelming financial shift that's currently happening within America. Hence Trump's trade wars concerning these global tariffs. And as I speak, it's a global U.S. tariff pause on over 90 countries to expire this coming up Wednesday. where Trump did announce 25% tariffs on goods from Japan and also South Korea, which are allies to America. So you have a lot of stuff going on right now concerning that matter with the tariff deadline. And that's causing more and more of Americans to be more financially overwhelmed and hesitant on spending. And I bring this term out from time to time regarding economics, and it's called consumer sentiment or consumer confidence. And it reflects the overall look, attitude, or sentiment that the consumers have towards their personal finances and also the current and future state of the economy. And that's a measure of how optimistic or pessimistic the consumers are regarding their personal finances, job markets, and also the overall state of the economy. So therefore, this consumer sentiment is very significant in the growth of an economy. And there was an article came out earlier this year how the consumer sentiment or the consumer confidence is at its lowest within America. And that's causing more and more people to shop with intent. They are not just carelessly giving their money out as they used to. So to align this up with this 2025 Essence Festival, that is Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua showing us that he's extracting the mirth from this American society. And mind you, this 31st annual Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, their theme was made like this. But according to the end time biblical events of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, like this is the only thing that's making sense within this day and time. And you best believe that these end time biblical prophecies are definitely speaking. It's making a lot of people shut up and humble themselves. And that takes me right to Habakkuk 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And that's the true call of duty unto the true and righteous prophets within these end times. Pursuant to Ezekiel 3 and 17, how the Most High have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. And our call of duty is to give our people warning from Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And that's whether they hear or forbear. And also to be a prophet unto the nations. They have to know the divine sentence that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua has for the current fashion of this world. So I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And that vision is going into the fulfillment of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua's prophecies. Pursuant to Isaiah 46 and 10, how declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times that are not yet done, saying, my counsel should stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And a part of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua's pleasure is the fulfillment of his end time prophecies that he gave the spiritual insight to his holy prophets. And just like I stated earlier, the prophecies of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua are definitely speaking. And that's causing more and more people, and much so scoffers, naysayers, to just shut up and sit down. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And how do we know that these end time biblical events are speaking? By being endowed by the gift of the Holy Spirit, which is by having that spiritual eye salve. We can see all these prophetic signs alluding to Matthew, the 24th chapter, and Luke, the 21st chapter, of the signs of our times. Everything is measuring up to what Yahushua declared unto his disciples at that point in time. And fast forward to this day of time, we can see it by the Holy Spirit. We can see that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is extracting the mirth from this American society. And that's a heavy prophecy right here, because it ties in with the so-called American middle class. And the American middle class plays a very significant role to the economic growth within America. And we know that the so-called powers that be are designed or orchestrated by Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua to implement these draconian executive orders and measures upon the American people. And guess who is going to hit the hardest? the middle class. Because prophecy has to be fulfilled. When you read Revelation 13 and 16, it goes into how he, referring to the hierarchy of Esau Edom, calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. It doesn't mention anything about the so-called middle class. And the middle class of America are hanging by a thread. Any type of major crisis, hence a major false flag or a stage event, will be the knockout punch for the so-called American middle class, and that will cause them to phase out. And we witnessed a good demonstration concerning that of this previous planned pandemic. So how much more the next stage events or major false flag, which is all due to these draconian measures being executed more and more so by this cruel Lord. And why? Because at the end, it should speak. And that takes me right to Isaiah 24, verse 7. The new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And that's the expression that we are seeing as America progresses on a daily basis. Pursuant to Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter and the 3rd verse, how those that look out of the windows be darkened, which goes into how more and more of Americans are pessimistic, which means that they are hopeless and they do not have no high expectations for the future, especially dealing with this unstable economy. So again, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And I just came across an article earlier on Forbes.com, and it was titled, Almost 90% of Americans concerned about inflation. And that's before the tariffs even kicked in. That's a very high percentage. Verse 8, the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice ended, the joy of the harp ceaseth. So in regards to this 31st annual Essence Festival based in New Orleans, and mind you, the theme was called Made Like This, and it's supposed to be the celebration of so-called African American culture, community, music, commerce, and empowerment. And that mirth goes into like the expression of joy, happiness, being merry-hearted, laughter, excitement. And it also goes into festivities. Hence, the 2025 Essence Festival had very low attendance this year. So again, going back to what we just read within Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, how the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end, it should speak, which are the fulfillments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai's divine end-time biblical prophecies. Verse 9, they should not drink wine with a song. Strong drink should be bitter to them that drink it. And again, and those that look out of the windows should mourn. And also pursuant to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, it goes into how Egypt should mourn, which is a biblical codified name for America. And more of these Americans are within that spirit of despair, unhappiness, pessimistic, hopeless, and perplexed, just uncertain about the current and the future state of this failed economy. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. And the city of confusion is referencing to America, aka Babylon the Great. And like how we always bring out, when you go to the word Babylon in the Hebrew, is Babal, which means chaos, disorder, and confusion. Because everything that's promoted or upheld within this American society is totally adverse unto the righteous standard of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And we already know, according to the book of 1 Corinthians, the Most High stated that he's not the author of confusion. So with that being said, what lies in state for the future of America? A lot of turmoil, chaos, anarchy, perplexity, which about 90% of Americans are currently in. So the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets, and that wine goes into the true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Like once Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is going to withdraw his true and righteous prophets out here on the highways and the byways, because very soon it will be a famine of the word, where the true doctrine of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua will no longer be easily accessible, that effect alone will cause a great crying for wine in the streets. A lot of our people are going to be trying to seek for answers within these upcoming troublesome times. And this is the build-up to Isaiah 33:6, how wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of our times. So there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. So day by day, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua is utilizing his left-handed rod of anger, which is the tabernacle of Esau Edom, through this cruel Lord, Donald Trump, to pass forth these draconian executive orders and measures upon these American people. And with that sentiment, that's causing more of Americans to be more hopeless and negative. And they can feel it within their spirits that the so-called future for America is not bright. And we are witnessing the excitement, the laughter, or that joyous celebratory spirit of these Americans that like to be entertained is being depleted on a daily basis. Hence, the 2025 Essence Festival. So with that, hopefully you all was edified, you all stay strong, keep pushing forward. Shalom.